Alright, what up everyone? It is a scorchingly hot July day here in Wisconsin. I'm out for a little ride, but had to pull over so I could get a little intro for the release of the Deadwood. So I'm sure a lot of people have already seen. Harley released a new motorcycle today, which definitely came as a nice surprise. I don't think many people had that on their bingo card for today. A new Harley Davidson model entering the lineup. So I wanted to take some time on my ride here to talk about my thoughts on the bike. Do I like it? Do I not like it? Would I buy it? As well as I think who this bike is going to be good for. So let's jump right into it. So to start, the bike is pretty much just a stripped down heritage that's murdered out, right? It's gotten rid of all the trim pieces. It's all blacked out, murdered out. Shortcut windshield, no bags. It's got the black denim paint with the kind of western looking writing. Very low seat height. They lowered the back of the bike. They really closed up the gap between the top of the rear tire and the rear fender, and it's got that really cool kind of low, dark western look to it, and I think it looks really good. I'm not usually a huge fan of the Heritage itself, to be honest. It's just not usually a bike that I look at and go, wow, I really love that bike. It's just not for me. And I'm also not usually a big fan of denim paint, but I think that combination of the two of them with the lace wheels, that is a sharp looking bike, man. I really like the look of it. So I think it's rad. And I also think that bike is priced very, very aggressively, which I think is awesome. If you look at the bike is $18,000 to start, number one. And if you look at the Heritage, if you just get like the Solo Rider gray Heritage mag wheels, that bike itself is $20,000. So $2,000 more than the Deadwood, and I think the Deadwood is cooler looking by quite a bit. No, and you don't have the bags, but I think that's part of the aesthetic for that bike. And then if you want a black Heritage with the two up and the bags and lace wheels, it's $23,000. So the Deadwood is $5,000 cheaper than that bike. Yeah, you lose the bags and the opportunity for a second rider, but if that becomes important to you, you can always add that if somebody wants to or needs to. And again, aesthetically, I think the Deadwood is way cooler looking. So I'm all about it, man. This is what I've said it before in my videos in the past. I've talked about it. This is all part of the Back to Bricks program. This is just another step along the way for Back to Bricks. And Artie Stars has said he wants a Harley Davidson in every garage in America. And in order to do that, Harley Davidson needs to bring out affordable bikes that, that are attractive to today's rider and affordable. It's a tough economy, man. And if all your bikes are over 20 grand, you're losing out on a lot of people. So this is what we've been asking for: more bikes, more variation, more affordability. And I think this bike is just another really great addition to the lineup and is what we've been asking for. So those are my initial thoughts on, well, I'll share too. Would I get the bike? Maybe not. I really like the way it looks. I just think, for me personally, I like to do enough travel on my bike. Last year I went around Lake Michigan. I like to do some weekend trips. So, I really like having the bags. Maybe not the perfect setup for me, but we'll get back to the garage here in a minute here, and we'll talk a little bit more about who I think this bike will really appeal to and be good for, and I'll share maybe some closing thoughts I have on the bike. Back in the garage here, still really hot, so I'm gonna try to make this go as fast as possible. So I think it's pretty clear that the intention behind the Deadwood is, maybe form over function. That bike is made to make a statement and just really give off a certain type of appeal, certain type of aesthetic, and that comes as at the compromise of bags, a tall windshield that blocks maximum airflow, the ability to take a passenger with you. But I think it's really kind of similar to like the Road King Special type of aesthetic. I think they've had the Road King Special specifically out for a while now, and I think people are getting a little bit tired of that aesthetic. So this is a similar look, a little bit different, a little bit of a change up. Obviously it's on the soft tail frame, not the bagger frame, so just a little bit different. And I think there's enough riders who are out there that will appreciate kind of this murdered out, little bit more modern-y looking, in my opinion, take on the heritage, this kind of modern take on the heritage, and will kind of embrace that bike for what it is and are okay with making the sacrifices to have that aesthetic, something that you can rip around in the Black Hills on or in the canyons on, go an hour or two away from home for the day and check out a new area, get lunch and ride home on. I think that suits probably the majority of riders. There's obviously riders that need bags and maybe a little bit more wind protection because they do longer trips. But I don't think that's the majority of people, even the ones that have touring bikes. So I think this is going to be a great option for a lot of riders. And again, like I said on the bike before, it's a lot of value for the money. It's a good value bike. And again, just another good step forward under the new leadership at Harley, bringing out more models and more affordability into the lineup. So I think all that is really, really great. And I'm excited to see what else is coming out, man. It sounds like the Deadwood itself is going to be like officially debuted at Sturgis this year. So that'll be really cool for everybody who makes the journey out there to be able to see it firsthand for the first time out at Sturgis, kind of in the Black Hills area, playing on the name. So pretty cool stuff. And again, just what a great surprise to see a new Harley Davidson come into the lineup today. But yeah, I think that's really the majority of my thoughts. It's super hot, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Let me know what you think of the Deadwood down below. Do you like the aesthetic or not? Do you like it more than the Heritage or not? That's really what I'm wondering is, do people actually like this bike and the look of this bike more than the Heritage? I think for me, being maybe a little bit on the younger side, the younger demographic, I think I definitely do. I never really liked the look of the bags on the Heritage and the seat. It just, I know it plays into that bike and kind of the Heritage look of that bike, right? I get it. But it just doesn't appeal to me, so Maybe part of the Deadwood is to try to appeal to maybe younger riders. So anyway, yeah, like I said, let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you like the Heritage or the Deadwood more. And yeah, see you soon. Peace.